No Lazy Bones Magazine. We're here with Mr. Bruce Allen, owner of Seating and Luxury, and we're gonna interview him today. You know what I'm saying? So, Mr. Allen, how are you today?
Good.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, can you give us a little bit of background about yourself? Did you grow up in Jacksonville? Did you go to high school here? And what made you decide to establish your business in Jacksonville?
Okay, yeah. So I've born and raised here in Jacksonville.
Okay.
I've been here all my life. I did leave for college, but mostly here.
Mm-hmm.
I did go to high school here. The school is closed down right after I graduated. It was a real private school, but it was called Success Academy.
Okay.
I went here, and what really, made me establish the business here is because I have a lot of connections here. I establish it here with those connections and using persons or asking for assistance, I should say, with getting the business sponsored and moving is why I initially established it, and as we're branching out.
Yes, sir.
But that's why I started here.
Yes, sir. Did you build your connections? You know, I understand you're very heavily involved in the church community. Mm-hmm. I've heard that your dad actually has a jazz album coming out with a gospel jazz album. Mm-hmm. Congratulations.
Thank you.
It's very successful. Did you build your connections in that channel way, or how did you build your connections?
So yeah,
because that's a big thing when it comes to business.
Yes.
Building connections, knowing people, and having like a 100% authentic connection. Because most business people I know, they're just not gonna, why would I, do business with you if I don't know you personally?
Correct.
That's a big reason why we're doing this type of podcast, this type of interview setting, so we can get to know people.
And I love that you all are doing this in the city.
Yes, sir.
So I'm first of all, I'm honored to even be on this podcast.
Yes, sir.
So thank you again. But it started, I'm very heavily involved in church, and it did start with it being in church. Several pastors know me through my dad because he is a pastor here as well in Jacksonville, to where the connections were established. Some of those connections and some of the connections that I have recently established have been authentic connections that I've created outside of the church to try to start my own legacy of connections like my father has prior to me being here.
Yes, sir.
So yeah.
So what made you decide to become an entrepreneur and to kind of dabble in your type of business? You know what I'm saying? Because your business concept is very unique. Not a lot of them. You probably don't. I know actually, man. It's not a lot of them. So you definitely in the right market. You definitely hit it out the ballpark.
Yeah. So what made me come into this entrepreneurship category or realm, is that time is very valuable. If nothing my dad and mother taught me is that time, you can't buy it back, you can't get it back if you lose it. And I always grew up them working and working. We did have family vacations, but it's something about having financial freedom that I'm working on establishing for me now and my daughter that is here. She turned 6 months today, actually.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So that is the premise and the reason for me to be able, why I walking into entrepreneurship, because I want that time not only to leave a legacy for her and her children's children, as the Bible tells us, but also to give back to my community. There are certain areas where I think the government and the political side of things they don't really look into when it comes to community building. And I would like to establish that within my own community.
A real deal community. Yes, sir. That's definitely very honorable. So give us a little bit of background. You know what I'm saying? You're in a business. What do you call it? Is it a chauffeur business, or is it like a luxury?
It's a luxury chauffeuring business.
Okay.
So it's not the typical. What can I say? It's not the typical Suburbans. There's nothing wrong with those.
Yeah.
The Suburbans or the GMC Yukon Denali's or the Ford Expeditions. Even though we can get those, but we're more of looking for high class luxury like Mercedes, BMW, the new Cadillacs that have come out recently, Maybach. It's a service that we provide to those persons that need it. If it's a date night, whether it's a sporting event, a corporate event. Even for those who are maybe dealing with stress, like if you're having if you're a man or woman with family and you just need to get away, you don't want to do Uber because some things with Uber are still unsafe, and you want to be with a trusted company, we'll take you from here to St. Augustine and back if you just want to kind of clear your mind. So we're here to provide services of peace of mind and security when you get into our vehicles.
It's like a white glove,
Yep.
you know, hands-on, very, that's definitely cool. That's definitely cool. So, you know what I'm saying? You have a very unique business, but in your mind, like being from Jacksonville, but like expand that out. Like, you know what I'm saying? What sets your business apart? Like what gives us that, you know what I'm saying? What sets it apart from the rest of the industry? What makes it so unique?
So it's almost like you were just saying, what makes us unique is that we are white gloves. We're almost to a degree like your butlers. We wait on you hand and foot. If you decide to go into the store and you need to get a couple of items, but you kind of didn't want to go back to the car, we have that. It's almost like a butler service to a degree. We go with you. We if you need us for the weekend in Orlando, we'll be with it. We know to service you then. It's more of trying to also to get to know our clients on a more personal level, to see what their favorite snack is, to see what something that is can be very convenient than just picking you up and dropping you off. You can get picked up and dropped off in any type of vehicle. But what is the connection that, you know, is being built between you and that driver? And that's what we're trying to establish, or working on establishing with our clients, is building a rapport and a relationship, because I may know something that you may need. You may know something that I may need. Just connecting with, I don't think I know her whole name. Her name is Bree. With the bouquet business. That is going to help our business as well in the long run. And we're talking about collabing even now. So it just, our business separates us because we're really trying to understand our clients. And even if we get those clients that are more, they don't want to, that's fine. You know, we keep, you know, those congressmen and certain people that are elite, we'll keep their stuff confidential. But for those that we can create a relationship with and build a family of business, then that's what we're looking to do.
Okay. So how long have you been, how long have you been in the industry? How long have you been doing this?
Surprisingly, only 8 months.
Only 8 months?
Only 8 months.
So in those 8 months, what struggles did you find, or is there any struggles that you want to kind of like talk about in overcoming and trying to run your business?
Yeah, so with starting this, first of all, there is no guide on how to start this specific business. I researched. When I tell you I've done my research, I did my research to a T. Because I don't never like to establish something without fully understanding what it is I'm getting into. So one of the difficult things that I've had to come with is capital. And you have to, some people don't know, if you don't have certain connections or certain people that will just loan you money, invest in you, you have to do the legwork. And I was working 9 to 5, also doing Uber to establish that capital for our first vehicle. I was blessed to get the Mercedes a different way, so I didn't have to do as much legwork. The second thing is connections. Now, even though the church is a big main part of how I establish my connections, I still have to do the footwork in that and network with others, because I don't want it just to solely be church, which is nothing wrong, but I don't want it just to solely be the gospel industry. I want it to be even the secular and reach out, and those, we all seen it with the undercover millionaires through social media that don't want nobody to know their business, and so we established those connections too. But financial with having capital, and then the connections, but overcoming those is that you have to work. You just can't expect to work 20 hours this week and 10 hours next week and think that you're going to be at $50,000 by the end of the year, but you're putting in that little effort. And so that, with funding, I did a little Uber. I was blessed with the Mercedes. Still do Uber every now and then if I need to fund something for the business, if the capital isn't there, until we get a consistent basis of clients and contracts. And then working with persons like yourself and Nick to be able to establish connections to get this information out there that maybe would like to invest into this business.
Definitely. That is a great aspect of like looking into the business. You definitely have to have some kind of capital, do your research and all that stuff. You know, you can't just start a business like blindly, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, I'm just gonna start this and hopefully it's gonna go. You definitely have to do the network. I know you mentioned to me you had a 9 to 5 job, and like with me myself, I work a 9 to 5, and that's the only thing that that's the only thing I'm focused on besides this is the 9 to 5. So like, as far as like my thing, I don't really have to work those extra hours, but I have. I used to work 70 hours a week before I got promoted and climbed up in the corporate ladder, you know. So
right.
I definitely feel you on that, man. So I know you mentioned you want to establish generational wealth and build the community, stuff like that for your daughter's sake, right? But what keeps you motivated in doing this, you know?
It is my daughter.
It is your daughter, yeah.
She's my motivator. She and being able to, the freedom. Because they're, like most of us, some of us take days off from work. And just being away from, I sit in front of a computer for 10 hours a day, for 4 days. And being away and being outside just to be able to go down the street and get something to eat is different when you cannot be in a box and being stuck to that screen or any type of, even if you were in the office, it's that. So that's my motivator, because I don't want to do that. I'm 32 and I have a whole lot ahead of me, and I do not want to just be, and don't get me wrong, for those who like their 9 to 5, then that's good. You know, I'm not knocking it, because I've been working 9 to 5s and there's no problem. But my daughter is my biggest motivator, and I push and I push. I don't care if I have to. I just recently did Uber. I was up at 2 a.m. and I worked from 10. I worked from 2. I worked from 2 to 6. Took me a nap. Went to work from 8 a.m. to 6:30. My regular 9 to 5. Yeah, when there's something that I have a goal in my mind, I get it done. No matter how tired I am, I'll get my sleep eventually, but I will press towards the mark to get something done. And to go back to that question you just asked about, mentorship is also something that you should establish. But struggling at the very beginning, I didn't have mentorship. I was able to get in contact with my uncle, and he established me with somebody in Orlando that does transportation as well. And so that's also, if you can prevent struggling if you can find a mentor to kind of help you and guide you and tell you which paths to take, what to do, what not to do, so that you're able to kind of get things up started a little quicker. I definitely do
agree. I do have a mentor, but it's more towards hey Joed, don't buy this. Right. Like that is not a good property. Right. Buy stocks instead. It's like an older gentleman that I go to. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't like talking about personal stuff, but I don't have a daddy. Right. I don't have that guidance. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of stuff that I go through is I hear from my homeboys. My homeboy's gonna guide me a certain way, but it's nothing like that guidance from somebody that's been there, done that, and is well established. And then you can see, because my type of thing, why would I listen to you? Right. If you don't even know my struggle. See, you know my struggle because you work a 9 to 5. Right. You know what happens when, you know what I'm saying? You know more than somebody, but that somebody has this relationship with the boss and you don't get promoted and stuff like that. Right. You know what I'm saying? So me personally, I'm also I don't want to stay there forever. You know what I'm saying? I want to do my 10 years, explore around, and then hopefully land somewhere else, you know what I'm saying? Right. And then hopefully this keeps on going. Right. I'm very passionate about it. I really like it. I like having conversations with people and stuff like that. So that's everything good, you know? Another thing that I do want to ask you, man, what do you think, do you have any advice actually in any entrepreneurs coming up into the business, not particularly in your industry, but your business in general?
The advice that I would give is that if you have to put God first. You have to do that. Yes, I'm going to tell you this, even though I grew up in the church, people can tell us stuff all day. Growing up in church, going to school, our parents, our elders. It's not until we learn for ourselves, ooh, that's hot, don't touch it. Okay, mama said don't touch it and said it's hot. You're not gonna really learn from yourself until you touch it. And now I know it's hot. Yeah. And so even though I grew up in church and I have my relationship with God, when I really put him first and I changed the way I thought and I really gave the business over to him, I started to get calls. I started to get connections. I started to get great, opportunities like this. And that is my thing. If God needs to be the head of your business, he needs to be the CEO while you remain the president and you run it for him. That you do that in hard work. You have to push through those tough nights. When you don't think that it's not working, take your time. It's going to take time. Have patience. It's going to take time. for those who are coming in either at our generation, born in the 90s, or after us, this is a microwave mindset will not get you to where you're trying to do for longevity. It won't.
I agree.
It won't. And so I will tell them to keep God first, and you have to be patient and continue to work hard, and you will then see the fruits of your labor.
Yes, sir. I always got this mindset. Easy money don't last long. And everything that you struggle for is what lasts. You know what I'm saying? I definitely agree with that, and put God first.
Yeah.
It's a Sunday. It's a Sunday. You definitely can preach. Amen to that. Amen to that, brother. You know what I'm saying? Yes. So, do you have any short-term goals and long-term goals when it comes to like 2025 for your business?
Short term is to establish some grants. I mean, that could technically be a long term to go to. If you all want to continue to send me some, I would greatly appreciate it.
Go ahead and drop your cash app.
So, right, or you can call me.
Yeah.
And then we can talk.
Yes, sir.
So we can get into the right information.
Yes, sir.
But to establish some grants is my short term goal. My long-term goal for the business is to build relationships with these companies, whether they're small businesses or up-and-coming businesses that are about to hit that major tier. That are another long-term goal for mine is being able to give back to my community. As I stated before, that Seated in Luxury, we fund certain events and non-for-profit, pouring into non-for-profits and just pouring back in. I am a giver as being the CEO of Seated in Luxury, and you will see that as we continue to grow. Also establishing, other things that people may need, that they can't get their hands on is what we're trying to do. But so that's my long-term goals. It's just trying to establish something here in the community, being a light for the community. Because my thing is this: what businesses are really giving back into our community? What businesses? Because I want to do a non-for-profit
There's a lot of businesses giving back to the community, but it's like a specific community.
Right. And mine is just going to it's not going to be specific. Mine is going to be general. If there's a need in the community, then that's what our business is going to help. And like for instance, I had a hard time with capital starting off. I would like to eventually have a non-for-profit. That capital will not be a problem for any business that goes through us as a non-for-profit. If we're giving 10 grand away, we're going to have certain requirements that's not going to require you to have to jump through hoops. Just certain simple things that you need to establish a business, and then you will get whatever you do with the money is your responsibility. And so that's what I'm looking to also do long term, is to try to help people with funding for their business.
Yes, bro. That's very honorable.
Even this, if you needed another camera, you got the business name, you got the goal, you got the vision, here's the 10 grand. And it's not, I gotta wait 6 months for it. I gotta put it.
That's just God. That's God's blessing.
Yes.
I feel you on that, man. That's definitely honorable. And then that's something that's like gonna help the entire community. You know what I'm saying? Because Jacksonville's gonna grow.
Right.
All we need is we need to get out this crab mentality and real deal help each other. That's the issue. Quit hating on another man because he's shining another like that. Just grind hard, stay down, put your head down, and then really, really go after it. And then, you know what I'm saying? Give it to God. Let God put his hands on it. You know what I'm saying? That I don't mean to preach either, but this man is speaking the truth, man. So do you have any, we're definitely getting ready to wrap it up. Do you have any questions on my end? Do you have any closing statements or anything like that you want to tell the people?
Closing statement.
Yes, sir.
I want to elaborate on, and I have a question for you. Do not, with the crab mentality, black business or any other business that is of minority, or any business, because I'm sure you don't question Louis Vuitton for those who go in there, and Chanel that for a discount. You don't ask for services of other businesses locally, or any business for a discount. If you're going to support a business, support it like you support other things that you don't ask for a discount for. Like I said, Louis Vuitton, you don't ask no discount for those who get their hair done. You don't ask for a discount. It's a lot of stuff that we just naturally do that we don't ask discounts for until it's, I know him. Let me see if I can get it for $50. No, my service is what it is. And either you're going to pay for it or you're not, whether we're friends or not. don't diminish somebody else's hard work just because they're your friend or a close friend of yours or a family member. You put in that 100 support. That's what I want to say about that.
Yes,
now,
sir.
for you,
Okay.
You have established this safe space for entrepreneurs, correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
How often?
Not just entrepreneurs, I want to say. Also, like, you know, we're getting ready to interview an actor.
Okay.
Like somewhere in a positive realm, and trying to establish themselves where, you know, you got a business going, you're an actor, you got something going,
right.
And we want to show your personality,
okay.
And therefore, you know, Lazy Bones magazine, because there's no lazy bones around here. Everybody here work, everybody
right.
here hustle, you know what I'm saying, legally, you know what I'm saying, not like that, you know what I'm saying, but we're all hardworking people, and we want to highlight the community where, you know, we want to get to know you, because that's the problem nowadays. Like, you know, they don't really know. They don't really know people.
Right.
Like, you know, like what you got going on and stuff like that. So.
And I thank y'all, because it takes because I've done, not gonna lie, I've done several different type of businesses, multi-level marketing type of things to try to, you know, I've tried to do the trading aspect. I've tried to do several different different types of jobs and entrepreneurial type of jobs, and when people see that you're not consistently steady on something, they then start the support starts to lack off a little bit. And so I think that this is going to help those who are trying to. This is great exposure for them, and I really think that thank you all for putting this into the community. I really do, especially for Jacksonville.
Yes, sir. Thank you for coming and being a part of it. You know, it's all love around here. We try to highlight, you know, the people, not just we know. If you know somebody, if you recommend somebody, we're definitely, you know, gonna accommodate in interviewing them, because you know, the more people we interview, the more content that we have, and then the more we could put out, and the more we could grow. And the goal together is grow together,
right?
Grow Jacksonville, you know what I'm saying? We want the money here,
right?
The money is here, it's coming, but you know, by the time that it comes, by the time the new stadium comes and all that stuff, we already have something going. You know, we have the motion. Yes, sir.
Well, that's good. I do have a couple people I'd love to recommend for the interview that I have partnered with, actually. And we're working together, even if it's just having conversations. They invest their time and their wisdom into. We do that for each other. It's me and two other guys that really do that, and I would love to give you their information so that they could kind of, you know, work with you and see what needs to be done. Yes, sir. I appreciate you for coming, man. I appreciate you for having me. Very great interview. Thank you. I appreciate you, man. Anytime. Yes, sir. That's it. Wrap it up, man. We're here with Joey Fresh, Bruce Allen, Seated in the Luxury. Go check him out at his IG. We're going to post the IG over there. Thank you very much. You can cut that.